Hi, so I'm going to show you how to find the orthogonals in these three stacked boxes. Now, this you want to follow along with this because this is an assignment that's a precursor to your test. And I try to actually stack these three boxes exactly like they are in the test, but they might be a little bit different because, well, I just stacked them again. So but hopefully these should be relatively close to what you'll have in your test. And you'll be able to follow along with how I'm going to be translating these boxes into a drawing. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to find the orthogonals. I'm going to do that. I'll show you two different ways. This first way I'm going to show you is with the computer. And this is probably the easiest way to find the orthogonals. And I'm going to zoom out here using Command Negative. And I'm in preview. This is the app I'm using right now. So I'm in preview right now. So I'm going to try to expand my window so I can get a little further out because I know that my orthogonals are going to be really far off on this guy. I can see that, but we'll start here. So I zoomed out and opened my window up, and then the problem is I could start with the annotation tools and just drawing. I'll show you. So here's, if you go to Tools, Annotate Line, you can get a line tool, and it gives you a very small looking line there. It's hard to see, so let's make that a little wider. Maybe I'll make it even wider for you to really see. So here it is, and it's red, and I can use these to find my points, but you can see how it stops short here on the side. Well, there's a way I get around that, and I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to delete this line. So how I get around that is I zoom out as far as I can here, or pretty far, and then I take a screenshot. So Command-Shift-4 is a screenshot with restraint on the Apple. It's going to be different on your PC if you have a PC. And then I have my screenshot down here, and I'm going to close this guy up. My screenshot luckily will show up on my desktop. And there it is. And now I'm actually able to create longer lines. Now that was maybe a little bit of a pain just to create some longer lines, but it's going to be very useful. You'll see. Now when you go Tool, Annotate Line, and if you don't have preview, if you're not on a Mac, hopefully there's another program that's similar on a PC. I'm not really familiar with that, but so you can see what I'm doing here is I'm trying to find the orthogonals. And what am I doing? I'm going to zoom in to show you. I'm basically just putting these lines along the side here. Sorry, that's my creaky door. Didn't mean to scare anybody. And I usually just copy and paste the lines so I can duplicate them. Command C, Command B to get a new line, and then I just find the line again in another area. If you wanted to get a new line, you could always go to Tools, Annotate Line, and get another line. But I find the copying and pasting is much faster. So you might have to zoom in to really see, okay, where's the edge of that box? Copy, paste, and once I like it, I'm going to select the line, copy, paste, get another one, and I'm going to try to line this up with that edge of that box right there. Okay, and so let me zoom out a little bit, and you can see that I was going to create a horizon. It's not going to be quite straight because these points have to line up. So maybe I'm going to throw a horizon line in there, Tools, Annotate Line. I'm going to change its color to yellow. Up here, you can have color choice. And I'm going to expand it out. There we go. And it's going to have to go a little higher, I believe. So I think the truth is probably somewhere between these two. So what I'm going to do is try to pull this back a little bit and see if I can make this meet the horizon and see if it still looks like it's lining up on the sides of this box. And it looks pretty good. And then so I know I'm probably going to have to expand this one out a little bit here and make sure that it still lines up with the edges of that box, which it looks pretty good. So I'm going to try the next box because I've now found the orthogonals from that box. The next box is actually very, very simple. The next box, I'm going to just copy and paste one of these lines, is copy paste. It's actually in 1-point perspective. And I can tell that because the top side of the box, I just see two lines, one here, one there. The other box was in 2-point perspective. All right, so here's where I just left off, and I'm going to continue. Let's see. So I was trying to find the horizon line. Oh, yeah. And I was going to zoom in. I was on this 1-point perspective box here, and I was going to look at the sides there just to make sure, am I really lined up with those sides? Not exactly. And this is really important because it's key to telling me, hey, your horizon line's too low. And I know that because these points should meet, and they're not meeting. And so if they follow the angles of the boxes, they should meet. They're going to meet actually about up here. Follow the angles of the boxes. How do I know that? Well, let me move this. You see that angle, that box? It's got to kind of match up. This box, oh, look at that angle. Okay. So that means my horizon line's actually got to be higher, which means I've got to adapt these guys. And this is actually a pretty tricky process. So I really recommend doing this on the computer if you can, because doing this on a printout is just going to be, you're going to have a lot of changes. So it's just going to take a lot longer. Okay, so this guy is going to be out here somewhere, and the other guy is over here, and this guy's over here. And then there's just a last box up over here. So maybe I'll change the color of these two so that you can see them a little better. I'll use blue. And then maybe the next set, we'll do a different color. So copy paste to get a new line. I just did Command C, Command V, but you can do that in a different way if you want. You can just go Tools, Annotate Line. So now I'm going to change the color to, let's say, green. And I'm going to look on the side of this box and make sure I'm really lined up accurately. Looks like this one goes pretty far out. How will I know how far? Well, copy paste, make another line, do the top. The top will tell you. The top tells me, if I look at it and I try to line it up very carefully, that it should be about there. So I need to bring this in a little bit. And I can extend my horizon line, holding Shift so it stays straight. Okay, so that's one side of that box. Get the other side. You can either do Tool, Annotate Line, or copy and paste your lines. There's a new one. And I'm going to just go follow that line up, copy paste, and follow that line right there. All right, so now I've actually figured out my orthogonals. And what I can do is then draw, when I'm drawing these boxes, I need to draw these orthogonals on my page, just like this, to get these 3 boxes to be correct in space. All right, thank you.